And we are live. Good evening, folks. Friday Night Tech Talk coming back at you again. Of course, the exiled Jersey guy is back in Tennessee, but I'm still the Jersey guy.
We sent them back.
That's right. What is that, a return? There's no return policy here.
we had a couple days to try you out. We sent you back.
I just want to let you all know Super Chat is wide open, and for anybody who wants to help me get my OnePlus when it's coming.
And OnePlus, right. and then you got the money set aside for your Pixel 3a, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, as soon as you give it to me. Yeah.
So how's everybody doing tonight?
All right, another day, another Friday for me, but not a double. So it's looking good.
No double.
Right, Will you say hello first?
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Should be a fun show because we had a lot of stuff going this week.
Exactly.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And Mike?
Hey, I'm Mike Dixon. This is Simply Your Device. Like today's show, give George lots of thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button.
Absolutely.
Hit that thumbs up button. Let's do the replay crew. I haven't pushed the replay crew. Let's get going. All right. And hit the super chat button for George so he can get his phones.
And of course, I'm Mobile Geezer. You're on my channel, and you can find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And my website is mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. Usually have at least one article a week, but I think this past week I had two because I made a special article just to celebrate the Jersey guys being together in Jersey last Friday. So
yeah, that was a nice read, George.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Yeah, and let me tell you, my whole family was like they were all excited to get to meet you and all. That was cool. That was good stuff.
Now, Mike's family is awesome, and somehow all the pictures that were taken, Will came out in one picture next to me, looking like Mr. Handsome himself. How he did that, I don't know.
Because I'm not a picture person.
Yeah.
But the best part of my trip was meeting Carol, Mom, as you all know her. She is awesome. And even though she and I are only 3 years apart, she has officially made me one of the sons, just like Will.
And they missed the concert y'all had.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
We should have put that on the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know. I know. I started. Yeah.
I've got her practicing Islands in the Stream, so the next time I come up, she and I can do our duet.
And let me tell you, she will be ready.
Okay.
She will be ready.
All right, just want to recognize who's in here already. Of course, we've got the first one in was 6-6. You're back to being the champ again. And then Nigel came in all the way from Sheffield, England. And then who was next? And then Rishi came in all the way from Jersey City. So now we got Northern Jersey represented. And anybody else in here that I missed so far, guys?
We got Kirk just popped in. Kirk Fontaine.
Okay, Kirk Fontaine. Welcome, Kirk.
Yeah, we'll see. We're up. Yeah, we got 8 people in here so far. But what did you all eat? Richie wants to know what you eat in Jersey. Anything did you get?
Well, no. Okay. Yeah. What did you eat?
When you were in Jersey, was there anything you managed to catch up on, Will?
On my way home, I actually did stop at Wawa. So my breakfast Saturday morning was from Wawa because there are no Wawas in Tennessee at all.
Yeah, you see the last Wawa about, I don't know what part of Maryland did you cut through Maryland, right?
Yeah, but my breakfast was from there, so I was good to go because the only other Wawas I've been to were in Florida.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got, I guess, a busy schedule. Now, Mike, basically, we're going to start with continuing from last week's discussion. Am I right?
A little bit, I mean, there's a lot of other news that went on, but I was really, I found it really particularly interesting was a lot of conversation about privacy, a lot of conversation about, screen time, how those apps were drilled out of Apple. This TV show that happened to come on at the same time we were live last week,
right,
on ABC. And if you happen to have, I would think most people, you can catch the show still on ABC.com or download the app and watch Diane Sawyer's. You could just search it, Diane Sawyer's Screen time.
Screen time. Also,
And-
or you can watch it the way I watched it. I went out on YouTube and they had 5 segments. And if you watch all 5 segments, you have watched the entire show.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All
what I should have did, because trying to sit through that whole thing was a chore.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I
kept
did.
having commercials on that ABC app.
Well, listen. I admit I was guilty. I laughed my butt. That's why I messaged you guys. I said at one point I realized I'm watching a show about screen time. What I got? 3 phones around.
Exactly.
Probably 2 other ones at an arm's reach away. So and then
You're part of the problem.
I said, gosh darn it, I'm going to go and break the law right now. I'm going to proceed to keep on doing screen time and watch the show. Maybe, I try to play a little pool. I'm seeing what people are saying on Twitter, but I mean, I don't know. My one thing, I was talking to you guys before the show started, and of course we always start talking and one of us is going to say, shut up, stop talking about this is good stuff.
Exactly.
Then I didn't realize how bad of a problem I guess it is. I mean, I guess my dynamic is different. It's just me and my wife and a cat. You know what I mean? Now I don't know about Will. Will's a good example. What do you do with your kids? And I know you say you got them both iPads long ago.
Yeah, they get a couple
Hey,
hours.
can I interrupt for a second?
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
The camera seems to be locked on me, and I don't know why.
Because your personality's so grabbing.
I don't know. You do something, George?
No, I didn't. I started the way I always started. I just don't know why it's locked on me.
Next week, Google will be like, Hangouts is having problems with.
Yeah.
We're
That's all right.
closing it down.
My brother keeps on pushing me. He keeps on busting my chops to go to Twitch. So
Yeah, I seen
We live
one of those
And
streams.
we'll
that was on
continue. We'll continue. They'll just be stuck on me. I don't know how to unstuck it. So
One of the streams that was on one of the podcasts, they used I don't know if it was Skype. They used something else. They said they weren't using Hangouts no more either.
yeah, what's Pocket
Pocket Now, one of
back
them.
now.
Yeah, I think they went to Skype. Yes. Android Police or Android Headlines. I forget. They're pretty much they really push. They're on Twitch. They actually go on Twitch first, and I don't know if their stuff rolls into YouTube later on. But you want to catch them live and be part of the conversation, you've got to go to Twitch.
Guess what? I just got it on you, Mike. I clicked
There you
on
go.
the thumbnail, and you popped up. So
It usually changes by itself.
Don't put it on me. I'm going to break the cameras.
No. You're the one who's talking right now. So, so continue with what you're saying. Pardon my interruption.
I wanted to ask, like I said,
Yeah,
my dynamic is that. What do you do, Will? What goes on with your role?
They get a couple hours, and then it's time for bed. Put it away, do something else. But my kids don't really watch too much TV, so
Yeah, but screen time thing wasn't specifically just about kids.
It's for everybody, but I don't use like the actual screen time feature. But they know when it's time to put it away, they got to put it away. Tell them put it on the charger and go to bed or go do something else. But
So
they mainly like my son likes Roblox and Fortnite, and my daughter is mainly YouTube.
But you monitor your kids, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you do interact with them outside of the tablet. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I see plenty of
I mean,
pictures.
I try to make them as try to make them like I was. I didn't have no iPad.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I didn't have no iPad. We was always outside, so I see.
There was no such thing as an iPad, yo fart.
Yeah, now even where I live at though, like the kids don't, I don't even see kids outside no more. Everybody's in the house playing video games or iPad, phone. So when we go out, it's like we're the only ones outside. It's kind of crazy.
Well, that's good. That's good. You see, and I guess I don't know. What do you guys think? Is I mean, do you know people or do you run into situations? You go to the family's house and they're all doing this. You know what I mean? Did you?
I think
that's more. I think it's more with grown people, Mike. That what you're showing. I think that's it's with everybody, but I see that a lot with people who are grown. Like I said in the story, people don't even sit down and talk. Like families will be at the table and everybody's on their phone. You know what I mean? Some people, I forget what I was watching. I don't know if it was on there, but they were saying like when their kids upstairs, they don't even call them; they just text them.
Yeah.
So, but then again, you got to think about it. But like even with parents, like look at you when you come home. Sometimes your work makes you have to sit in front of a computer to do work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's like times change so much that some spots you need it, and even kids could come home and do homework now and be on YouTube and doing their research paper at the same time, or talking to their friend, or on Snapchat. So that was one of the things in the article, in the story. Yeah, that was one of the things in the story with the people saying Snapchat does some kind of incentive. I don't know, I don't have it, but where you have to keep posting to get like some kind of rewards or something.
Yeah,
which is helps fuel the addiction, I guess. Keeps you.
Well, yeah, they're doing everything they can to keep the addiction alive. That's what they do, and they're out to make money and sell ads. So it makes perfect sense, But
George, what do you think? What do you? I mean, of course, you don't have. It's just you and Eleanor,
right.
and
I don't have little kids at home. For me personally, I'm a YouTuber. Of course, I have a lot of phones. I always have 2 phones at least with me. I go out to dinner. I'll pull out my phone, look up stuff, but so does everybody else. Do I see it as interfering with any social time I have with family and friends out to dinner? No, I do not. We all still talk. We all still have conversations. And half those conversations, somebody's pulling up a phone and saying, look at these pictures, look at this. So I don't see it as a big distraction in my life. But with kids, I could see where it would be. So that kind of makes sense to me. But my overall view, let's go back, Mike. Let's take one at a time. What was your overall view of Diane Sawyer's screen time show?
I'm going to just say this now. I didn't get a chance to finish it all, but what I seen was I was surprised how bad the addiction is. But yet though too, I don't know if is again part of our conversation from last week is how does the press present it? You know what I mean? How does the reporters present it? And me personally, I really don't. I've yet to come across a family that's really tuned out and doing like some of those families they showed.
Yeah, right.
If you know what I mean. I mean,
and you're making a point I'm going to bring up.
I mean, I know, for example, my nephew Liam is he loves YouTube. They have certain channels they allow him to watch, and I know though too they are. Ams and Chris are big on saying, turn it off. Yes, they limit their time, and the same thing with little Molly. But though too, they're not all about. When you were there, George and Will, that was the first time I saw Liam break out the. I think that's a Nintendo.
Yes.
And in such a long time, I was shocked to see him actually. Yeah, I thought that thing just sits there and gathers dust, which surprised the heck out of me. He's more happy. Reading or creating. He loves to draw sometimes. He loves to do stuff or I'm seeing watching YouTube on different things.
So you're saying your nephew is not addicted to the phone?
No, and his quality time is with his father playing Minecraft online. But that's like an hour. If they get an hour or two in, that because Adam plays it with him. It's time with him. I guess you could say. But but there's days to go and they go to see my mom, what I mean, or they they go out and do stuff. I never got a sense that the phones in their house or the devices in their house was ruling their time
or taking over anything. Okay.
Right.
And Will, what was your overall impression of the
it was all right. I mean, like you said, I don't know anybody who's that bad, like that family that she picked, because the boy, like, he didn't even leave the table. Like he was, he was really, all in.
It's Friday. Listen, it was Friday. I got my headphones on. I'm talking my.
He was completely zoned out.
Right. It was like boom, right there.
But I'm sure. I mean, it exists. I'm sure there's families that are like that. Maybe it's not with phones, but I'm sure with like video games. I'm sure there's kids who go in their room and don't come out. You know what I mean? So. I mean, I know what George is saying, kind of like they sensationalize it a little bit or whatever. I mean, they probably picked the worst family they could find and show you the parts that they want you to
That's
see.
the point.
But what they were saying, like where the family was like, they don't really interact as much. Like, did you see where the mom came home and she was just happy to have them all in the same room? You know what I mean?
Right. Even though they were all on their phones.
Yeah, she was speaking to them and they didn't even look up. Like,
Right.
you know, so I'm sure there's families that are that bad. I mean, I don't doubt that it's a problem for some people. It probably is. They probably can't put the phone down. But I was watching something and they were saying, I think it might have been that story where they were saying, yeah, it was that, where the guy was saying it's like, it's not so much an addiction, it's more of like impulse. You know what I mean? It's like an impulsive behavior where you have to pick up your phone.
All right.
So even Tim Cook, I think he was saying that he found out he picked up his phone however many times a day. So I think it's like an impulse, you know what I mean? Where it's kind of like you just feel like if you don't feel your phone in your pocket, you're like, where's my phone? And then when you find it, you pick it up and look at it, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
When I have those moments and and everything stops, I think I can reassure you that I probably walk out of the house and lock the door and snap my phone, but I don't have the keys to the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
You know?
that's the thing. So if you think about a kid with all the social media apps and all their friends and all their, you know, they're gonna, even if they were just thinking like their impulse is to pick it up and look at it, but then they got to check Facebook, they got to check Twitter, so it becomes, you know, it's like a never ending thing. Somebody's always posting, so they got to read their post and they got to reply. So it kind of becomes, you know, an addiction, I guess. But at first, it starts off probably as like just an impulse. It's crazy.
Okay. I want to say that, see, Mike, you said, I have to admit, I'm guilty of that. Now, I do that. I grab my phone on impulse quite often. Would I say I'm guilty of it? No, I don't have any problem with it. I don't see any problem at all.
You don't think it's a problem. But
no, I don't. Now,
George,
my overall take on the special, though, was they said she took 6 months or something like this to put this show together. Or was it a year and a half? It was a long time. And here's what I think they did. They went out and found these families who are super addicted to phones and presented it like this is America with phones. Wrong.
Good.
Wrong. This are the families who are the worst with phones, and that's what news programs do. They sensationalize things. They're saying this is the problem in America. No, and I'm saying this is probably the problem with 2% of the families in America, and probably not much more, is my guess. So that's what I think is the problem with. And what do news people do? I mean, keep in mind, she's basically a news person, has been for many, many years. And what do? They had to either sensationalize it to sell the story, or they have to scare you to sell the story. This is what they do for a living. So I did not buy into the vast majority of it because, yes, I feel bad that those families were so addicted. But most families that are addicted, I don't even think it would come close. That's just my opinion.
Right. And notice where we're using the word addicted. The only way I can associate it is I hear addiction, I think of drugs or alcohol. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but the way those families were, it was an addiction.
Right. Yes. And in that sense, a not a chemical addiction, but in a way it was. You know what I mean? So
now wait.
I mean,
Mike, do you remember the part where they had the mom sit there and use the phone, and the kids were trying to play with them?
Yes.
That was crazy.
And the dogs? How about the dogs? You know,
the dog was
Yeah, but keep in mind, they did that on purpose.
Well, yeah, they told them don't look up.
They told the mom, do not look up when the kid wants your attention, to see how the kid would react. You know.
Yeah.
But
the whole joke to me was kind of a setup.
Yeah.
You know?
But I don't know. I guess I think there's more people out there than that than you think, George. But
okay.
You know what? You would never. The thing is, you won't notice it because they wouldn't. That person, you can't see their life. Just like I can't
see them at home. You're right.
Yeah, like I don't think anybody would notice how bad it is unless you see it recorded and you sit down and watch it.
Well, that's what I want to ask you though, because and I'm gonna just I don't want this taken the wrong way, but George's age of friends are around his age. He generally would hang out with, right? So their kids are grown up. My kid is grown up. Your kids aren't grown up, and I know that there's parent-child interaction. You know, I don't know if your kids play ball or play any kind of sports or later on. You know what I mean? And I'm surprised you haven't come out and said, you know, yeah, I was at this function, whatever. And the parents were more interested in watching their phones or you know, they showed the great thing they showed was that when they were holding up to take a picture of they're in a concert, they're literally watching, the, you know what I mean?
Watching the concert through the phone. See, but I've seen that though, where people, like, we've been at dances and stuff they've had at school, and the parents will be on their phone in the middle of the dance, you know what I mean, dancing and FaceTiming with their friend or whoever, you know, or on social media, so Facebook Live. But
you've actually seen that?
Yeah,
I can't imagine that.
In the middle, they'd have, like, what was it, last year or the year before? I think they had like a dance for the kids, and it was dark in the room, but the parents were on the phone. Yeah.
But are you saying they were on the phone while they were on the dance floor?
Yeah, while they were dancing with their kids. Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's I think it's.
I'm sorry, you said something.
I guess I'm just a show off on the dance floor, and when I'm on the dance floor, I'm dancing, and I'm going to dance the best I can, and that's all I'm into. But I'm known as a show off on the dance floor.
This is how you know it's bad, George, because people text and drive.
Well, that's true. That is true.
It's got to be pretty bad. You know what I mean?
Today, coming back from Knoxville on my job, we were on I-75. You know, I'm doing 75 miles an hour. Look over to the lady next to us who slowed down, and I went around her. Well, she was driving along 70 miles an hour on her phone with a baby in the back.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Hey, guys, take a look. Some of the comments are popping up in the room too. And by the way, Mom, we didn't get a chance to say Mom's in the room. Mom's here, by the way.
Yeah. She says she's looking for us at Adam's house. I said we were there and already left, Carol.
You know, Nigel said kids are definitely spending too much time on their phones, tablets, Xbox, etc. Guys, and Six says it's amazing how some small devices control our lives. They mentioned about something about the streets being deserted where he is.
Yeah, kids don't go outside no more.
Yeah. That's kind of what Will was saying. Yeah. And Mill Hustles is in here. Just wanted to
Mill is in here. Thank you very much. Did she cover the professional people who can't stay off their phones due to their job? Yeah, they did. They did touch into that. So yeah. I mean, I definitely want to watch the rest of it. It's just so interesting though too. In my mind is I can't get over the fact that there was the New York piece, New York Times piece, and then we happened to see Renee Ritchie comment about it, and then I saw CNET talk about something else, and it was like a week of screen time and privacy kind of conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Six.
You got found out, Mike.
Yeah. Mike is drinking more of the juice.
Yeah, I had a little help from a friend, so couldn't pass it up. That's all I got to say.
So, Will, do you have yours on?
Mine is charging.
Okay, so we have a room full of Apple Watch people.
Yeah.
Including me. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is all you, Will. You have infected us.
I'm helping y'all go to the right side of the track.
So is he saying he's pulling us from the dark side? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. Like I said earlier, my wife was really upset that he's gone so deep in. And she was literally asking me. He goes, he doesn't have an Android phone at all. I go, no. And that leads me to my next question. Please tell me, did you still have your OnePlus 6?
Yeah, I might not do it, Mike. I might not sell it. But
so you still don't.
Please don't.
Yeah, I don't use it, but maybe it might. Somebody might ask for it on Swapper once. I might be worth,
There you go.
So yeah, Will's got us all in. So there, yeah, I mean, we could talk more about this, but there was a lot of other stuff. And maybe, dig up a few other things, because in the end, in all of this stuff we just talked about too, you just realize it's all software. Anybody could have any kind of cheap, blankety blank phone. Anybody
Right.
can have a food stamp phone and still do all these things we talk about.
Exactly.
Right? It doesn't have to be the flagship. It can be any device that they can get their hands on.
Yeah.
So.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. Is there a song? George? Is there a song called "Moving On"?
There's an old TV show called Moving On, and there was a theme song.
Yeah.
Do I remember it anymore? No.
Okay. I
know Billy Joel's Moving Out, but.
Okay.
All right. So, next subject. So this week, of course, we had Google I/O 2019, and so I'm highlighting some of the things that came up at Google I/O. So the first article is from Digital Trends, and it's called Android Q and Mid-Range Pixels. Here's everything we saw at Google I/O 2019. Should I go with this, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to read the article, but they're going down the article highlighting what was announced at Google I/O 2019. First thing, of course, is the Pixel 3a and 3a XL phone. It's called Phones for the Many, Not the Few. Phones are getting more expensive, and Google isn't happy about that. That's why it launched the mid-range Pixel 3a and 3a XL, Google's first mid-range phone since the Nexus range, and that's a while ago. It's packed with good mid-range specs, including the Snapdragon 670, which I think is a mistake, and comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of onboard storage. As is traditional, there's no micro SD card, but owners will get free high-resolution storage on Google Photos. As expected, it runs the pure Pixel version of Android 9 Pie and is guaranteed to get 3 years of major Android updates and security packages. Now, I'm not going to continue reading, but the big selling point here, what phone is generally considered to have the best camera in the world? Well, of course, it's the Pixel for the last, 3 years running.
Mm-hmm.
And both these mid-range phones in there, $399 and $479, isn't that about right?
Yeah.
No, 400 and 480. Okay. Yeah. And it has the exact same cameras as the Pixel and Pixel XL. So that's the big selling point. And it's a very, very good selling point. And if you look at all the unboxings, reveals, and there's already some reviews, pretty much everybody is raving about it. No, it's not a glass phone, it's plastic in the back. But if you want the best camera, well, now you have a cheap way to get it. And people are really raving about it. The Pixel 3a range will come with the same exceptional camera as the Pixel 3 and also comes with night sight, top shot, and all the software fun you expect from a flagship phone. So all in all, that was probably the highlight of Google I/O 2019. You guys agree?
Oh no! Wait a minute. There was a Nest.
No, there was a
Nest
lot.
Hub.
Okay, I said that. I said the big. I'm the biggest. I'm going to go down.
Not the Pixel 3a. No, the Hub was the biggest thing because it's got a camera in it now. Finally.
All right. So you guys got the article up?
Yeah. It's just.
All right, Mike. You take the next. The next thing down is Android Q. You take that.
Yeah. What you got, Will? Go ahead, Will. I can hear it coming.
I'm pulling it up. No. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. I gotta get
Android Q, and this is interesting. The new version of Android, always a big part of Google I/O, and the 2019. In 2019 was no different. Google's making security Oh, here we go. Security and digital well-being, being and innovation, a huge part of Android Q. Security. Okay. Anyway, but what we hadn't anticipated was many new accessibility options Google was building onto Android Q as a part of its drive to bring mobile technology to as many people as possible. Accessibility through AI was a major theme throughout the keynote, but this was ever more obvious where Android Q was concerned. Google is keen to use mobile technology to enrich the lives as many people as possible, including those with disabilities. Keen followers may remember Google launching an app called Live Transcribe a few months ago. The app just did that. It listened for speech nearby and transcribed it onto the device's screen. Google is taking that step further with live caption. With one tap, your device will be able to recognize speech and transcribe it directly onto your screen without changing apps.
Now, what I found impressive watching the presentation, and I have to agree, what they did for people who have hearing issues and speech issues, this thing was really impressive. Not only does it read it for you, it highlights every word as it reads it. And if you speak a different language, it'll translate it into that language and still highlight every word as it reads it. Now, for somebody who's deaf or hard of hearing, that's pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah. So that's going to be I know they they really made a lot of innovations. They've been working on a lot of technology for doctors. I understand a lot of stuff for doctors to be able to for imaging.
Yeah. Let me continue down to the next paragraph.
Go ahead.
Live Relay is another element of this and is designed to help deaf people who need to speak on the phone but are unable to by any other means. By using speech recognition and text-to-speech, Live Relay acts as a mediator between yourself and the phone, transcribing the call and speaking messages to the person at the other end. And they demoed that, and boy, was that impressive. So they really seem to be going all out. They kept saying they want to give everybody access. Well, they're really taking a nice step in that direction. I was pretty impressed with that. So
yeah, again, this is where I think a lot of the stuff is important to pay attention is the software that these particular companies, so these two, in this case is going to be Google. We're going to have Apple in a few weeks, I believe.
Yeah,
with their developer conference. So it's going to be interesting what they're going to come to the plate. But it's interesting to see that past IOs, it's always been a major, some kind of major swing. Each iteration is getting a little better. Right. Now these are major developments that they're doing for impaired people, which is great, which is awesome. But as techies in our thing here is, I really don't think there's going to be a big swing, a lot of swing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know I'm going to hear from Will. Going from Pi to Q outside of the gestures that Q is going to bring. And I happened to watch an XDA video, and he's completely outraged. He's so upset that it's just a direct ripoff of Apple's gesture base.
Yeah, and a lot of people said that.
Right. So,
and I agree with the guys who said, "Who cares? They all rip off each other. It's a big deal."
Yeah. I mean, if Apple's doing it the best out of all of them, why wouldn't you want to put that on your phone?
But on the other hand, I mean, then it's like, why you want to be motivated to go from Apple to Google? Google should have something that will be different.
Nah, Mike, because look. In terms of navigating your phone, Google had the 3 buttons, right? Everybody liked the 3 buttons. If you want a bezel-less phone, you're not going to want the 3 buttons at the bottom of the screen anymore. You want to see the whole screen. So when Apple went from having a button to no bezel, they had to come up with something that you could still use your whole screen just about, and they put that little line at the bottom. But you know what I mean? When you navigate your phone, you don't have 3 buttons always at the bottom. Now, I know on Android they make some phones where the buttons disappear, but you still got that spot at the bottom where you know what I mean? For them to go to the navigation like iPhone has to me is the best thing they could do. I've seen people complaining saying that hamburger menu or whatever that's in the corner, something about the swipe from the side or whatever is going to be an issue. But I don't know anybody who really slid that out. I knew everybody who tapped it. That's what I used to do. I tapped the thing. I never used to slide it out because they were saying that's going to be a problem now. But to me, they should have went with that. Like that, what they came out with the Pixel 3 was terrible. Those gestures were horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
So if anything they could do to make it better, I don't care who they got to copy. It's better than what they had, you know.
I'm going back to some of the comments. Let me see here. Mill Hustle was talking about. Let's see, sorry, but that Pixel 3a for $400 is not that great, but that Best Buy deal is sweet. Well, what'd you say? I'll get it from Phone Tech at Work. What are you talking about?
Oh, the Telegram, the link for the Telegram.
Oh, okay. I'm not
This is supposed to be Jean Legier in here, huh? Okay.
Yeah, we have John. Yeah.
Ask him why the Pixel 3 won't have RCS.
Yeah, good point.
Oh,
yeah, RCS. Yeah, I saw that. What gives with that, man? Why?
Dead, man. RCS is dead because the carriers don't care. That's why.
I agree.
Alan's in the room. Welcome, Alan.
Hey, Alan.
Kurt's here. I didn't see it. Kurt is here. Welcome. Nice feature, but what about the messaging issue? I guess that's what you're referring to, RCS.
RCS, yeah.
Yeah, we have a celebrity.
Yeah. Great idea for T-Mobile Tuesday.
Will, you have the article up?
Yeah, let me see. Where you stopped at support, right? Foldables.
Support, you go to the next generation. The next paragraph is the Google Assistant. Is almost here.
Okay, you want to skip that one? All right. Yeah, where we at? The next generation of Google Assistant is almost here. It wouldn't feel like Google I/O without a mention of Google Assistant. But what we got wasn't just some new features or abilities. Instead, Google used the I/O 2019 keynote to give us a good long look at what it's calling the next generation of Google Assistant. One of the biggest changes this year is behind the scenes, but it's no less impressive. Google has worked hard to change the way Google Assistant works to make it faster to respond, and the way it's managed to do that is by shrinking down and changing it so all the AI processing happens on device rather than being sent up to the cloud for processing. Removing the need to send data up to the cloud doesn't just make it more secure, it also means makes it much more data efficient at just 500 megabytes. It's also much easier to use on cheaper devices too.
Now, watching the demo, that was pretty impressive because all the AI stuff that we would do that we're doing on our phones right now, once you start doing it, it has to go up to the cloud to process and come back to your device. And they said, I forgot how big they said the thing was, like
it was huge,
gigabytes, huge. And now they've got it down to 500 megabytes, which means even if you have a cheap phone, you can do this stuff on your phone. No more going out to the cloud, which what does that do better than anything else? Well, now you've got a lot more security. And you don't have to worry about it going anywhere because it's staying right on your phone. So I was very impressed by that. Go ahead, Will.
Let me see. I was talking to John Legier. Hold on.
Okay.
That feel like iPhone Pixel.
But that was just the start. The next generation of Google Assistant will be able to handle even more tasks, processing questions and answers up to 10 times faster. Continue conversation means you don't have to keep saying, hey,
it's a keyword.
And the assistant will even be able to pull data from other apps into bubbles in front of your current task, so you don't need to navigate away.
Yeah, so I was very impressed by that whole demonstration, and the speed was incredible.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take the next one. Oh, go ahead.
When is that rolling out though? Because remember how they did with Duplex? It was kind of
Well, I think it's all rolling out with Android Q, so I'm guessing
okay.
it'll be out when the new Pixel comes out, wouldn't you think?
Okay, I guess. Yeah, you know.
All right, continuing on.
Yeah.
Next paragraph, Google Duplex is moving online. Google Duplex was one of the biggest innovations at last year's I/O, and now it doesn't just handle phone calls. The new and improved Duplex can fill in reservation forms you find online, including those for car hiring. As with the phone version of Duplex, it asks you to confirm its choices before the booking is complete, so you can be sure it's booking the correct thing. It should be accurate, though, as it pulls from your Gmail and previous bookings to understand your preferences. So for those who don't know what we're talking about, Google Duplex, if you remember last year, they made a reservation at a restaurant, at a hair salon, I think it was, strictly with the Google Assistant with no human intervention. And the person on the other end thought they were talking to a human. Well, now I guess you can do the same thing, making a car reservation. So this is pretty impressive stuff. Pretty soon, I guess we'll be having conversations with these things.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I have a particular phone I'm not going to mention about, but I don't want to give it away just yet. But it comes up with screen call, and it's not a Pixel. Let me just say that right now.
Okay,
So some of this stuff is rolling out to some of their devices.
that's cool.
It's coming. It's coming. I haven't tried that. You kind of don't. I guess it's a generation thing. I don't know. I pick up the phone and I Google it. You know what I mean? Or sometimes I'll hit the microphone to say, "Hey G, what time does this XYZ open?" You know what I mean? I don't think about calling ahead to make an appointment,
To make a reservation.
You know what I mean? And most places, I don't. What comes to mind is I know we're going to go take our cat to the vet, and our vet might not. I don't know. I don't know if they're set up for that, because wasn't it specific places that they were willing to do that, or is that across all? If I say,
I think the idea was that you can do it across all devices. I'm not sure. Will's laughing at something.
I'm laughing at John Legier.
Okay.
Wait a minute. He's bringing levity to the room.
Okay.
Oh God.
Oh wow! Thanks, John.
Okay. So now we're not going to read this whole article, are we?
I hope not.
All right. Anybody want a Nest Hub
You
Max?
can just summarize. All right, the Nest Hub Max is what I told George they were going to do before. What they should have did.
Yes, that's true. You did predict that, but you said what they should have done before.
Yeah, they should have just put the camera on it and put a button on the back. And now they
should have put a camera in it from the beginning.
On the Google Hub or whatever. Because now that Facebook got the portal, they were and Amazon got the show and all that. I guess they were like, we got to keep up.
Yep.
But it's nice, and it's going to work for your alarm and all that. So that part of it's good, but you still can't watch Netflix on it, or
I can't believe they didn't have a camera. That still doesn't make sense. They would first roll out that one,
yeah.
Mike,
wait, this is what they because they did it backwards. They should have talked about privacy with the one without the camera. They're talking about privacy and put the camera on it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
and it's what is it, $229, I think, and they lowered the prices of all the other things, and they got away from Google's name on it because people probably don't want to hear Google having a camera in your house, so they make it Nest, so it sounds a little better. They might trust Nest a little more. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I don't know. That's good though. I'm not buying it, but
well, I already have the Google Home Hub, so I can do without the camera at the moment. All right. Anything else in this article you guys want to go over?
Hey George, how much you get out? How much use you get out of that device?
A lot. It's in the kitchen, and we watch some YouTube. We watch YouTube TV on it. Sometimes we have a regular pastor we listen to Sunday and Wednesday nights. Sometimes we cast him to that. So we get a lot of use out of it. And of course, like can turn on the lights in most every room in the house right from there. Sometimes I do it from the Google Home. Sometimes I do it from Alexa, but I can do it from the kitchen right from that. So it's pretty. And I shouldn't say Alexa because I just set off Alexa.
You're making everybody's go ding
Oh,
ding
yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
Sorry about that, folks. Well, I did it to myself too, so at least you know that. Okay, so anything else?
Nah,
No.
Yeah.
All
Trying
right,
to
so
think
we're,
what else Google
you know,
Phones is.
yes,
Move-
the Pixel 3a, the Pixel 3a was the focal point of
Okay.
all this. I mean, you know, the software's nice and all this stuff that's coming out, but in the end,
Okay,
you know,
Mike, that's the main thing, and that's what we were talking about before we started. The Pixel 3a to me is nice.
oh, yeah,
It's a
Will's
good
got some good
idea,
points here.
but I think Google just killed the sales for the Pixel 4 because you came out with a Pixel 3a, 3 and 3 XL in October or November, and what is this? 6 months later, you're
Yep.
basically showing everybody like, yeah, we could have gave you the same camera for half the price. So
it's a
if you
slap in
buy-
the face. It's a slap in the face for people
Yeah.
who bought it.
But wait,
think,
but wait,
you know,
this is why it's worse, because now if you come out and say, all right, I'm gonna buy that phone. Now when the Pixel 4 comes out, who's gonna buy that one? And when they put something new into the camera, why would you buy that when you know they can really do it in the other phone, especially if
without
it's all
doubt, they're-
software. Especially if they don't add a lens, like if they don't add wide angle or something like that to it, and it's still one lens, you know they're just holding back. You know what I mean? You're paying $400 or $500 in some cases for wireless charging and 64 gigs of storage and a glass back. Oh, and water resistance. Like water resistance, a lot of people will be like, I don't need it. I just won't put my phone in the water. Wireless charging, a lot of people can take it or leave it. You know what I mean? So I don't understand their strategy. I don't get it. That should have came out last year. The phone should have came out last year, and not
as wait a minute, should have came out at the same
the
time.
3A. Yeah, should have came out when that phone came out. That's like
Right.
Samsung. Yeah, that's like Samsung coming out with the S10 in January, and then halfway through the year come out with the E. And then coming out with the, you know what I mean, with the new, like with the same camera though, the same everything except for waterproofing and wireless charge. Like that's crazy. I don't get it. I don't know.
Just so
But
you
you were
guys
saying
are
that-
aware, the camera coming to where who's ever speaking is still not working. So I'm clicking. That's how I'm getting you guys showing.
Yeah.
So
But
Okay.
yeah, like I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. But I don't think like George was saying. George was saying they were Google was making like reference devices and they weren't worried. I think they've been trying to sell phones the whole time. That's what I think. I think they were trying to cut their losses with the Verizon deal because they weren't paying for advertising. Verizon
now
was
keep
doing
in mind, Easy disagrees with you, and so do I.
Oh yeah, I know, and I really think they're trying to sell phones now because they're putting
I
them in
think
all the
now,
carriers.
yes, I agree.
And
I think now they are trying to sell
I think
phones.
Easy don't think they're trying to sell phones at all. I think they're trying to sell phones, but I think after this, like to me, even though I knew it was software from the beginning because you can get the Pixel camera app and put it on your OnePlus or on your whatever, and you basically have the same camera just about. It would be hard for me to go spend $1,000 on a Pixel 4 knowing that they put out a phone, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Basically, it's $300 because you're getting discounts and gift cards, and so I don't understand their strategy. I don't. Usually, you always hold something back, or most companies hold something back from, they even if it's the wide angle camera or the zoom lens, something. But if you're going to give the same camera, that's a rough sale going forward. Like your Pixel 3 sales are dead now. Nobody's buying that anymore.
Yeah, of course, my answer to him when we were talking before the show was, I think they're still aiming the higher price phone at people who want a premium phone. I mean, people could go into a store, touch the Pixel 3a, and they're going to say, oh, well, this one's plastic. This one feels premium. Well, there are people like that too. So you could be right, Will. But I still think there are people who want a premium phone and they want it to feel premium and look premium. But you're right, camera-wise, it's the same.
But once you
Mike,
put a
you-
case,
you-
once you put a case on the Pixel 3, it's plastic now.
I was going
And
to say that.
the
But I
main-
was going to
the
say
main-
that.
The main selling point of the Pixel is the camera. The Pixel doesn't have no fancy nothing. There's no, you know what I mean? It's not like a Samsung where you get an S Pen or a reverse charge or something else that you might want, or Samsung Pay. The Pixel is regular software with a fancy camera tricks on it because of the software. Like, that's it. So I don't, you know what I mean? Getting a premium phone is just the feeling of the phone. You're not
Right.
really getting nothing else. So especially if they're giving you the same updates, the same storage in the cloud and all that.
Well,
You
you're not
put-
getting
you
the
put a case on
same.
it.
You're not getting the same photo storage, really,
Well, I'll just put a D brand skin
on the
back.
3A as opposed to the XL.
Put
Yeah.
a D brand skin on the back of my Pixel 3A or whatever, and you don't got no notch. You still get dual speakers, even though they're not front facing. Like I don't know. I can't see how they're expecting. They
No
must
notch,
have
No
just-
notch, no
It
notch,
must-
no notch,
it must
no
have just
notch.
said-
Where's all the haters now?
they must have just said we're
Let's
gonna.
not get out of hand now.
I'm sorry.
They probably were like, all right, we know we're not going to sell no more Pixel 3 XLs, so we might as well just put this out now because that's it. That's the end. You know what I mean? That's I don't know. I don't
Well,
get it.
I guess come
Even the
October, or so,
regular-
we're going to find out.
Even the regular Pixel 3, I think it's $600. Is it worth that? You know what I mean? It's not worth $200 more. It's not
We'll
for
find
the
out.
same storage. No, it's not. Matter of fact, more than $200. I think that what is the 3? Yeah, $399. So yeah, $200 more. It's not worth it.
Okay, Mike, you got anything else
Well,
on this?
I want to say this about the Pixel 4. And what came to mind is, are they going to come out with something sharp or something new with the camera? Are they going to come out with dual cameras and some other trick photography?
So you're saying something that won't be on the 3A and 3A?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And are they going to, the biggest question is, if this phone isn't somewhat of a hit in its sales figures, will they
Which
do
phone? Which phone?
the 3A?
Okay.
Would they do a refresh of a 4A? 4A. I made a bad pun. Is it a 4A into the 4A?
Yeah.
Anyway,
So you're taking a 4A into the 4A. I got you. Okay.
yeah, right, exactly. But what I'm saying is, I understand Will's point, and yes, are they what do you call it? What do you call it? They're eating into their regular Pixel sales with this
Right.
phone. I don't argue that point. Now, and also too, if I understand correctly, they went to additional carriers. They took the 3
Yeah, this
and
phone is
3A,
on everywhere.
except for
Except
AT&T.
for AT&T.
Except for
Hold on.
AT&T.
Mike, you see Jay Will in the chat. You see what he said?
Yeah,
No, I didn't.
392 Silver Bullet is Jay Williams.
He said, I have them both here, and I really can't tell the difference in the materials, to be honest. Then he said, Pixel 3 and 3A XL, they feel the same to me. Also, they perform pretty much the same. So, yeah, I mean, for $200 less, I can't see the 3, the regular one selling anymore.
You got a good point. You got a good point too, because anybody in their right mind, and also the carrier, if you were at the carrier store, they're going to push a case on you. So you took that
Yeah,
glass
you're
back,
gonna
you
put a
took that
case.
premium phone, and they're going to just put it in a piece of plastic anyway.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to put it, and then even if you think about the waterproofing, I mean, you can splash it or whatever, but we already know no company covers it. So, so how safe really is it if you get waterproofing? So it's kind of,
Well, wait a minute. If you buy,
water
if-
resistance. No,
wait,
no
wait,
company.
wait a minute. I just realized something though too. Wait a minute. It doesn't have waterproofing, so water protection, right? So if you have that accidental dunk, again, going back to the carrier is going to push their own warranty, and it's going to cover, water damage. Is it not?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'll
So-
just pay for it.
You just pay for it, right? Right.
Yeah.
They're going to push it, and they're going to scare people into getting that stuff. That's something something that John Legere would do.
Exactly.
I just think that they're gonna. I don't know. I'm wondering if when they come out with the next phone for $1,000, it's gonna have to be perfect to, you know what I mean? Because they've had screen issues or whatever. You know, the RAM management, the thing was deleting people's pictures. The next phone that they come out with, if they're going to price it at $1,000, after they put out a phone for half the price with the same camera, which is the selling point of the Pixel, the same updates, is going to have to be just about perfect.
Now,
That's gonna be
Jason Gill is saying in the comments, I'd take a used Pixel 3 XL over the 3A XL. They're about the same price.
Oh, well,
yes.
If you can get them on Swapper, yeah, because now on
For
Swapper,
the same price, I guess you take the premium. Yeah.
I'm saying brand new.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I agree.
but yeah,
Yeah,
So it's going to be interesting when the new one comes out.
And here's a good point that Gary Brown pointed out: old flagship or new mid range. And now everybody's in a quandary because you get these S9s getting way down in price.
Right.
S8 is still probably available at your carrier if you're really in a pinch. You know, they're not bad phones.
Yeah.
I'm just picking, you know, an older flagship.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, Jay Williams is saying it's so funny. Will just said that I have a video coming out tonight where I pretty much say the same thing. It's actually titled, "Do We Need a Pixel 4?" He said, "Good point, Will."
Yeah, I mean, I can't see them. I always go for the Pixels, but I can't give them no $1,000. Not when you're giving me the same camera for, you know, that's because what are they going to do next year? They're going to put out a Pixel 4a 6 months later with the same camera.
And wait a minute, there was somebody pointing out, I think Six and Lee's pointing out that, you know, though OnePlus does the same thing every 6 months with this.
And that's what I said too.
But George, it's not the. I mean, Mike,
it's not the same thing. You're right.
It's not half the price because the build is better.
Oh yeah, I know. But they're still doing two cycle.
But but it's different because OnePlus is giving you a faster phone or whatever. Google is giving you a slower processor, and you know, the hardware is less. But you're getting the selling point of the phone, which is the camera.
The camera,
you're
right?
The same camera for almost half the price.
Yeah,
that's you know, it's hard to spend double. You could buy two phones and have the same camera. That's what I know. For me, that's what I buy a Pixel for. I buy a Pixel for the camera.
Okay, time out. I got to get this in. If you buy two phones, doesn't that make you a phony? Okay, had to get that.
Because if I just wanted the Google software, I could get the software from another phone, from a Nokia, or it might not be the exact replica of the Pixel, but I'll get stock Android. So I get the Pixel.
You know, you got an interesting point. Where does this put the Android One phone in this position too? Think about it.
Yeah.
Because I've had my hands on an Android One phone, and darn man, that thing is Pixel Nexus all the way around. You know what I mean? So
Google just made a lot of people. I think they made a lot of OEMs upset because they just came out with a phone with a camera like that for pretty much cheaper than anything else that you can get that's from Samsung, or you know what I mean? That's a flagship. And what me and George were saying, Mike, was what do you think people want more in the phone, the camera, or what were you saying, George? Remember?
Battery.
Well, Jay Will said the battery was good and you're getting a top-notch camera. I think people, when they buy a phone, especially now, they want a top-notch camera and they want battery life. They don't really worry about the build and water. I think that's all second. You know what I mean? I think that's all, second. That's like a second thing people look for. But if you're only paying $400 for it and your camera's like that, I can't see turning that down to go spend $1,000. But I mean, if you're being realistic anyway, like they said on T-Mobile, what would your payment be for that? What, $10 a month, something like that? $15 a month?
Yeah. What's the name? Jay Will saying it's just not the camera, battery life, and headphone jack, and more. 6-inch screen.
See? Battery life. I mean, a headphone jack. Yeah,
that's true. They do have a headphone jack.
I don't know. So why did you take? I guess for waterproofing, that's what they'll say. But if Samsung was able to do it, why did you take the headphone jack out of the 3XL? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you hear the crowd? Did you hear the crowd when they said, the prices of phones are getting outrageous?
Yeah.
The crowd really, really
So now
They
wait, now,
reacted.
it
Yeah.
was it. Yeah, it reacted is a
Mike.
good word.
Mike, we got to remember this in October if they come out with $1,000 phone after they just told us the prices of phones are getting outrageous. They can't. To me, they can't do it again. I can't see them going back.
And I agree. I agree with Jay. For most people, well, that his comment, I think Will is right. People just want to take photos mostly for social media, and without a doubt, it's the common consumer, the average consumer. All they want to do is to do that. So
George, can you get this
Jason
guy
Gill
out of
said
here?
they could put that
He's
top-notch
getting
camera in
Yeah.
any phone for $200.
yeah, Will, you don't. Oh, that's right. You're not a what name? Are you?
Yeah, I'm not a nah. George, can you get him out of here? he's getting annoying now. He's interrupting the chat.
It's not bothering me, but I don't
Alright,
even
I'm
know
just
how.
saying
I've never had to.
Flow-
I never
I'm
had
just
to cut
saying
anybody out.
the flow of reading the chat. But
I
yeah,
don't even know how to do that.
You should have a you should be able to click on his name. You see what he's saying? He's crazy.
Oh,
Man.
okay, I got it. Yeah, okay, I got it blocked.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Time out.
Yeah, like they put a headphone jack on it. They kind of I don't know.
Nigel said, but most people use wireless headphones now, so you don't need the headphone jack. Well,
you don't need it, but
yeah, seems to be a lot of people who get upset when there's no headphone jack, though.
But Nigel,
Will.
the thing is, you don't need it. But it's not like that. Since they put the headphone jack back, it's not like the phone doesn't have Bluetooth, so you can still use your wireless headphones. But on the 3XL, they eliminated the option. So
Yes,
anybody who was like, I want to charge and listen to music, you can't do it, or you got to buy a different cord or something like that. So I want to see how Google spins it if they come out with a 4 with no headphone jack and no, that's $1,000. I can't see it. I don't know how they're going to do it. That's like if Apple came out with a phone with a headphone jack tomorrow, and then the next release had, you know what I mean, no headphone jack again. Or Samsung was like, yeah, we couldn't make the S8 and S9 water resistant because they had a headphone jack, and then you do it on the, that's crazy.
Okay. So are we done? I don't think we need to do the next two stories because we've
well, wait. Just asking. Do you think this is the rebirth of the Nexus, guys?
Nah.
No.
No.
And there's been a few articles that said no.
Far from it. Nice try, but no.
What me and George were saying, Mike, was I think Google should just either keep making phones at this price point or license the camera stuff out. That's what I think. I guess that kind of is bringing back the Nexus. Like if they keep making phones at this price, because
yes,
you kind of.
Will saying he hopes so.
How's it go? What did they say? They took the genie, but they let the genie out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just showed everybody that you can make that for the people who didn't know that it was all software. Now everybody knows that you didn't need $1,000 camera. I mean, $1,000 phone to have that camera. So how can you go back and switch it?
Jay is kind of agreeing with what you said before. They would take down the OnePlus if they bring back the Nexus line. That's kind of what you were saying before.
Like, yeah, what is, I don't know. OnePlus, to me, they're in trouble. They're in trouble with their release.
Yeah, guys, Jay also said that, we're covering everything that to the point where he's got to release his video now.
Okay.
I guess we did.
Sorry, Jay, we didn't mean to spoil it.
I guess Jay, just think of us as your advertising, okay?
Yeah.
All right, we ready to move on?
Yeah. What's the next one we're going to do?
Okay, Galaxy Fold release decision. Mike, you want to take that?
Sure, I'll take that. Let me. Okay. We have from Android Authority.
Yep.
Samsung CEO. Galaxy Fold release decision coming in a couple of days. According to the Korean.
Yeah, I want to hear you read this name. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I had no shot.
Okay. The new United States release. Okay. According to Korean Herald, the new United States release date for the Samsung Galaxy Fold will be determined in the next few days. This information comes directly from Samsung's CEO. I thought his name is DJ. Wasn't it DJ?
It is. You got to look at his name, and then it's reversed.
They did. Oh, okay. We call him DJ Cone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
More commonly known as DJ. Okay, I see what happened. In the quote from the Herald, DJ said the company, in parentheses, has reviewed the defective cause from the substance that entered the devices, and we will reach a conclusion in a couple of days on a launch date. When pressed on whether or not that release date could land this month, DJ was shy with further details, simply saying, "We will not be too late."
What the heck does that mean? That doesn't.
We
say
will
anything.
not be too late. Don't forget, interpretation of English words from Oriental words are kind of different. So maybe you could express, we won't be, it will be soon or not too long, something like that. This is the first time that DJ Cone has spoken directly about the Galaxy Fold since the debacle surrounding the review units. And then the subsequent delay of the folding phone on the original date of April 26th was that was the scheduled date.
Right.
According to Samsung, it has worked hard to fix the three main problems with the device: strengthening and the durability of the exposed area, minimizing the gaps between the hinges, and the protective coating, and ensuring that the customers would not accidentally remove the protective coating.
Right.
After early review units started breaking, Samsung had journalists send their send their devices back to the company. It is unclear if Samsung is going to send out new review units before the yet unannounced release date. We'll reach out to Samsung for further comments on this matter, and they will update the article as soon as we hear back.
Okay.
So I know the Fold is really Will's thing. He really loves the device a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, immensely.
Nah.
So,
but I think that keep in mind the main thing. It seems to me that every single person that had the fold that did any kind of video on it, yes, they acknowledged the problems, but they all seem to love the whole idea of the fold, of holding the fold, of unfolding it. So I think they're going to come back with it. Maybe they won't be able to, but I keep remembering how everybody felt about it.
George, I think they like the idea. Like, of course, the idea
once it was in their hands, especially
they were like, to me, they were hyping it up. Like they were like,
I don't think so.
Great.
I don't think so. I just think they loved it once they had it in their hands.
Weren't saying, who wants to sit there and have to open your phone every time to really get use out of it? You got to sit there and
all say it's a cool experience
because it folds because it's new and it's different. But in everyday, okay, Mike, think about it. You want to use your phone every day, right? You have that phone. That's your only phone. When you go outside or whatever, when you're on the app and you want to play a game, you got to unfold your phone. When you want to look at Facebook, you got to unfold your phone because that screen on the front is terrible. You know what I mean? Like, that's like back to using the iPhone 5. You know what I mean? So
let me back up for a second. What iPhone 5? I'm sorry.
On the front is so small. It's got huge bezels and it's just small.
Oh, okay.
So they were making it sound like it was better than it is, but who cares about what they were doing? My problem with it was Samsung. There's no way, George, that you can tell me that,
here we go again.
that they didn't know that this phone had problems. There's no way.
What'd you say, George?
He said deja vu.
Oh, okay.
There's no way, George. They tested the phone. That's why when they put that phone out, they didn't. When they had that release thing, they had the phone in glass. Nobody could touch it. Nobody could do nothing with it. Just like when Apple put out AirPower, when they had their thing, they said it was disconnected. It wasn't charging nothing because they knew it didn't work. Samsung knew that phone had problems. Man, that's crazy. They should have never put it out. But I still think it's the idea of a folding screen sounds great. But like they said, if Motorola was to do it where it was the opposite way, where it made the phone smaller and you opened it up to get like a
You mean like a razor phone?
Yeah, like that. If they were to do it like that, to me, that's better than folding it wide. Like you got to make it too big to actually like using your phone anymore. To me, I don't know. Everything you do, you have to open the phone. They said you couldn't open it with one hand. You had to use two hands.
Yeah. Well, Jay is saying the same as we all say. Simply put, they rushed it trying to be first. Yeah, and we all agree to that. You know.
Yeah, I'm not even sure the phone's coming out, man, for real.
Yeah, and nobody's sure it's coming out at this point.
If they do, I think it's gonna have other problems. I think it'll have something else to be wrong with it. But I think
the big thing now is what's going to happen with Huawei's Mate X, because that all that bad press somehow is flowing over to them. You know that. And when it comes out, it's going to be minutely inspected, and everybody's going to be looking for a problem.
No, it's going to be scrutinized. Both phones. If Samsung does come out with the Fold, that is going to be the most scrutinized phone. Google could come out with the 4 next week, and when that phone, if that Fold comes out at the same time, everybody's going to say, "Who needs a 4?" Because it's again, George, it's going back to it makes press. You know what I mean? It
exactly
chatter in the tech community. And when the Fold comes out, the Fold's going to get so much.
And I don't want to call it the Mate X.
Yeah, and the Mate X is right. But I just want to point out too, though, back in the digital trends, they do mention in here. Support for foldable screens is also coming for Android Q.
Right.
So that means they took time out.
Yes, they did.
To adapt the software to these folding devices.
And they made a point of that in the keynote.
And in the keynote, exactly. And to Will's point, he's got a point, but you can't potentially. You have a concept, you have an idea, so you make it, and then you find out if it's remotely successful. You find out where your errors lie, and then you make those corrections.
But you know what I think part of it is also, keep in mind, they have been in some way or other working on that phone for like 8 years, a long time, and part of it might have been, all right, it's time to put this out. Just plain frustration, really.
But look, George, you said you don't think they knew that the phone had problems.
I didn't say I didn't think that. I just said I don't think that they knew it was going to be the way it was. As bad as it was, and as quick.
If you have to release a $2,000 phone with a piece of plastic on top of the screen, there's something wrong with it. Like, you shouldn't even put it out. If Huawei has to put their phone out, and there's a piece of plastic on the screen that if it gets messed up, your phone is done, then they shouldn't put it out. Yeah. Not for $2,000. It's not like they're giving. Right. It's not like they're giving.
In mind, and keep in mind, Huawei's phone costs even more because it's a 5G phone also. But so the 5G part of the cost is somewhat justified. But boy, this thing better work.
Yeah, I gotta give a huge shout out to Jay Will right now. Because I'm just scrolling and seeing. I put it out there. I'm just checking out Twitter off and on and Facebook. Jay, do you have one eyeball on our stream and the other one Viper? Because that's awesome stuff. I tell you.
Wait! Stop the presses. Nigel, of all people, the Huawei king, the guy who's got 4 or 5 current Huawei phones. He said Huawei Mate X is too expensive even for me. That's saying a lot for Nigel.
That phone is too expensive for everybody. But Samsung, there's no, to me, they just, like you said, they were trying to be first and all that, but for all that money, they knew the phone had issues. I don't care what nobody says. And the plastic thing on top of the screen and trying to say, oh, because they took it off. So even if they didn't try to take it off, that thing was coming off probably in 2 months after folding it,
or
opening
less.
it, and putting it in your pocket and moving with the screen. It was going to be peeling.
Yeah.
So they, you know,
Wait.
of the phone.
It was going to be peeling, but it came out unappealing. Oh,
That was a flaw in the phone. And if, as soon as they saw that flaw, they should have said, okay, this isn't ready. But instead, they were trying to make 1980 off of everybody plus tax.
yeah.
So that's shady.
Jay says for all I'm all for Huawei design. It's much better. Heck, the ZT
Axon
M is better designed than the Fold.
And he's been doing videos on the Axon on it.
He shot that picture. He shot that picture of the two of their using. It says on.
Well, he's got a few videos out of the Axon M now. So
yeah. I said to you, if you really need a folding device, that's what to get because it's ridiculously dirt
and
cheap
it works.
right now.
And it works, and it doesn't fall apart.
No.
So George, nobody wanted the Axon M when it came out. But
Well,
it folds.
Jay Will said it in one of his videos that they never pushed it, and I think he's right. I think if they would have pushed it, it probably wouldn't have been a hit. Is my guess.
It does the same thing. It folds.
Also,
that was AT&T, I think, exclusive and all that because AT&T pushed that because they wanted you to watch DirecTV on it.
Yeah,
right.
And that's why I'm not getting it because I'm not going to get AT&T for one phone.
I think you can get it unlocked now for $160.
You can get it unlocked. Yeah, you get it for $160. Yes.
And George, you'll have a folding phone.
But don't forget though too that whole went down right about the time ZTE got in big trouble too. So
yes, that's true.
It went south. It went south kind of quick from there. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think Samsung is releasing that phone. I don't.
All right, we ready to move on?
We're going to fold this subject.
There you go, Mike. Right on.
Mike, good.
I'll tell you the folding jokes.
I like it.
Yeah, the folding jokes are right there. You can't. The folding puns are right there. You can't give it up.
Am I having an influence or giving you influence?
Just a little bit. I think you rubbed off on them when you came down, George.
No, just a little bit. That's a reason. Just a little bit. Okay. All right. Next one up. Will, you want to take the T-Mobile one?
All right. T-Mobile confirms OnePlus 7 Pro on sale date. Update: no OnePlus 7 for now. Oh.
Right, so only the Pro, not the
that's why they're saying it's an exclusive. All right. Yeah. In a statement to Android, this is the updates. May 9th at 5:56 p.m. Eastern. In a statement to Android Authority, T-Mobile confirmed that at this time the company is only offering the OnePlus 7 Pro. T-Mobile said the company would be able to divulge more details on May 14th, the day of the OnePlus 7 series launch. While it isn't direct confirmation that the company will not be carrying the vanilla OnePlus 7, it does suggest that the OnePlus 7 Pro will be T-Mobile's primary focus, which leaves open the possibility that the carrier will not stock the OnePlus 7. That was the latest.
Stated next Tuesday as May 14th, the launch date. All the stores will have it next Friday on the 17th. Sorry.
Yeah, so that was the last update. Let me see. At all T-Mobile events, the first 200 people to buy the 7 Pro get a free gift from OnePlus. There will also be free light refreshments. And then it's got the schedule here, May 14th. Pier 94 in New York starts at 11 a.m. Times Square store launch event open at 2 p.m. to 10, where OnePlus 7 will be available to buy. Signature store launch events continue in Chicago, San Francisco, Santa Monica
on the 15th.
Yeah, Santa Monica, Las Vegas, and Miami, starting at 2 p.m. local time. And then May 17th, it's available at any T-Mobile store online at tmobile.com or at oneplus.com. Now, George, I'm wondering, does this mean that since they're doing it this way, is OnePlus not going to have the Pro? You know what I mean? Are they not going to put the unlocked Pro on sale from their website?
I'm
right away?
I'm guessing they will because that's what they did with the T. They had the exclusivity with T-Mobile, but they also had the unlocked version that you could buy directly from them. So I'm guessing they're going to do the same thing here. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Rishi ended up just getting one and not having to pay for one.
But George, seeing how this article makes it sound like, because remember T-Mobile came out and said the OnePlus 7 Pro is a T-Mobile exclusive. So
Right.
I'm wondering if they got into some kind of deal where OnePlus can't even sell.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think it's going to be just like the 6T. But what they are saying is there's not going to be any regular OnePlus for now, which I don't care because I want the Pro.
No, this is weird to me. It sounds weird. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think they are going to be two phones though.
It's supposed
Yeah,
to be
they're going to
two
be
phones,
two phones,
but
but
I'm
T-Mobile
wondering-
will only have the Pro at the beginning. And
So
then
what's the deal with the Pro?
George, it's going to be higher specs. I think they were saying 12
higher
gigs of
spec,
RAM.
and it's going to pop up front camera.
But
And
George,
the
I mean,
they're saying basically the regular OnePlus 7 is going to be like a slightly upgraded 6T. Well, I've already got a 6T.
Mike, here's my question. This is what I don't
Mhm.
understand. Since T-Mobile saying it's an exclusive, is OnePlus only going to be able to sell the T-Mobile version from their site? Are they going to have it unlocked on their site? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, they didn't only sell the T-Mobile
Well, they
version
wait,
of
they,
the 6T, and
no,
that
but
was
George,
exclusive to T-Mobile.
No, but T-Mobile, I don't think T-Mobile said it was an exclusive. I don't remember no article.
Yes, they did. The 6T
Yeah,
was
but-
an exclusive to T-Mobile when it came out, and you could buy it the same day from OnePlus, and it wasn't a
But-
T-Mobile.
But George, the T-Mobile, the 6T didn't come out at the same time as
Yes,
the
it
6. As the 6.
No.
It did.
No, but the 6T and the 6T T-Mobile version and the 6T unlocked version did come out the same day, and you could buy either one. And I'm sure that's what's going to be here.
I don't know. We'll see, I guess. To me, it sounds like T-Mobile's going to be the only place that you can get a Pro. Like if you go to OnePlus website, the Pro model is going to be a T-Mobile variant.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I know everybody'd be shocked if I was wrong. I understand.
But wait a minute, Will. It says here the next day on the 15th, about the T-Mobile stores. On the 17th, the device will be available at all T-Mobile stores at T-Mobile.com and unlocked directly from OnePlus.
Okay.
And unlocked. Okay.
And
Oh,
unlocked from right.
Okay.
So the old guy is right. Yay!
George got one. After I won the camera thing and all the others. George got this one.
I won your camera. This is like listening to pardon the interruption.
I
where,
won the camera one.
Tony says he's right about everything and Mike is wrong about everything.
What was that? What was that? Yeah, the hub.
What was?
Yeah. So George, which one are you looking at? The Pro or
Pro. Strictly the Pro.
See, I haven't been following. What colors are they? What colors are they supposed to be coming with? I know they have
purple. Got what they already. But you know me, I'm going to put a case on it anyway. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, George. I'll wait for you to tell me about it, maybe. And then
You know that's
Well,
still that's a good value on that phone. $549. They're out. Of course, they're out of stock every time you go there.
For what?
And I'm depending on Rishi, and I told him I'm depending on you to tell me about this phone, because he'll be there.
Mike, what's a good value? The OnePlus?
Yeah, the one right now still. If I know they're going to eventually get the 6 gig 128 variant, the cheaper one that's going to come out.
Here's my question. Here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Why would you buy that when you can get the Google Pixel 3a for $300 or $350, whatever it is?
Well, here's a good question. Has anybody who's had it, whoever has the 3A, and I know,
I'm saying, what would make you want
Jake
to spend the extra $200?
why? Wait a minute. Why? Because has anybody? What are you laughing at?
I want to know because there's no point. I don't see no reason to buy it.
It's still a good phone.
It's a good phone, but okay, they both don't have water resistance, right?
Okay.
And the Pixel has a better camera. You're getting Google software.
Oh, wait. That's
Nigel
preference.
did answer us about the colors. It's available in black, gray, and blue.
Okay, but getting back to what you just said about the cameras and the software.
Yeah.
I think since I've had the 6 myself, and then going through regular updates, not once a month. I was a vouch for that.
I'm
But-
laughing at Jay Will because he said the only thing I can think of is the RAM. It gives you more RAM, but the camera's not as good for point and shoot anyway.
I disagree. I disagree.
In the Pixel,
I like the camera. I like the camera on the Pixel. On the
Mike, not more than the Pixel.
He didn't say more than anything. He just said he likes the camera.
I'm quite happy. It goes back way back. It goes back to Jay's comment. All the people care about is being able to go and do the social stuff. Okay.
But Mike, look, for $200 more, you're gonna get a phone with a worse camera.
Stop saying the worst camera. It's not a worse camera.
I didn't say the worst. It's worse than the Pixel. You
It's
have no
not
night
worse.
sight.
I think it's right up there. I don't even want to stay on par.
The night sight on that phone isn't touching the Pixel. No way.
No, he's right. The night sight on the current,
God,
the night sight on the current 6T and on the 6 doesn't touch the Pixel with night sight. I'm hoping that the new one will be a lot better. I'm guessing it will.
All I'm
So we're
saying,
gonna
Mike,
find out.
you said it's what, 4 or 5? What is it? 549?
Nobody's even positive about the price yet.
No. On the 6T.
Oh, 6T. Okay.
$150 less. You're getting a faster fingerprint scanner, a better camera. There's no way. That's not even the only
Now,
difference
Mike,
you're getting
keep in mind, you're talking to the guy who will only buy an Apple phone and no Android phone. Keep that in mind while he talks.
Meanwhile, his OnePlus 6 sits in the drawer.
Right, and he won't take it out.
No, I've had the Pixel 3 XL, and I got the OnePlus 6. But what I'm saying is, if somebody told me you can buy a OnePlus 6T with a fingerprint under the screen that's not as fast as the regular capacitive one, and it's got a worse camera, both phones don't have waterproofing. Like we said, you put a case on it, it's not premium no more, the feeling. So why would I give them an extra $250 or $200, whatever it is, $159? It don't make sense. The camera, Mike, the camera on the Pixel is crazy. Oh man.
Oh yeah. Jay Will's making a good point. He said the Moto G7 cameras to me are better than the OnePlus 6T. Now I do have to say the camera on the Moto G7 Plus, right here, is as good as the 6T. I have to say that, and on my Nokia 7.1 also.
But wait a minute. I posted pictures with the portrait going. I posted them on Twitter.
Not even close. Then, if you posted a picture with the portrait mode from the OnePlus versus the Pixel, it can't, Mike. It's not.
I think you got to look before you can say that.
It's not close to the Pixel. The Pixel is crazy. That camera's insane.
Well, you're making me mad. I have to go out and buy the damn phone.
George, wait. No, but listen. No, look. But the thing is, the OnePlus, it's a good phone and the software is good and all that. But they're like, yeah, you have 12 gigs of RAM or you have 8 gigs of RAM. There's no app in the App Store that's using 8 gigs of RAM. So it's pointless. You know what I mean? Like your phone, your apps will open quicker and all that. But for $200, is it worth it?
I think you're also missing one key point here, Will. There are people like me, like Rishi, and I think like Mike, who just like OnePlus phones.
I guess, yeah.
And that's not you, and that's not going to be you, because you have a OnePlus phone sitting in the drawer that you won't even take out.
I like the phone, but I'm saying if I was like, all right,
you don't even like the phone enough to take out the one you own already.
Listen, if I was like, I can buy this or this, and I got $500, I would rather keep my money in my pocket than just say I'm supporting OnePlus. That's what I'm saying.
We're not saying we're doing it for supporting OnePlus. We're saying because we like OnePlus phone.
So you're supporting, you're buying it. Okay, so what?
We're not, that's not the reason that we're buying it. We're buying it because we like your phone.
My question to Mike was, what are you getting better out of the phone?
I think personally, and I don't have the 6A. and my judgment call is on using a Pixel 2 XL. I said before, I noticed a definite lag in the performance of the phone, and I feel that the camera, I have no problems with the camera. I have absolutely zero problems with the camera. I have zero.
I guess I don't know. I couldn't.
And I agree. I also have zero problems with the camera. I like the camera on the 16.
The camera's good. The camera's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but is it worth the extra?
Since I did not have a Pixel in 2 years,
It's not.
I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Thank you. That's a good way of putting it. Yes.
In my opinion, well, Mike, you had a Pixel 2. I don't know how you don't see the difference, but for me, I couldn't give them an extra whatever it is just to say I got more RAM or whatever. Whatever, you know, OnePlus gives you more RAM, which is
Now,
nice.
of course,
But
Nigel is saying the Huawei P30 Pro is the camera king, and an awful lot of people are saying it's better than the Pixel too.
but the Huawei P30 is what, $700, $800, $900. We're talking about the Pixel 3A for
That's true.
$379
That's true.
versus the OnePlus 6T for $579 with a faster
No,
fingerprint
we're not
scan.
talking 379. We're talking 400 or 479.
Oh, okay, 400. 400 versus 5. What did you say, Mike? 579? So 180, $180.
549.
I couldn't. Nah, I couldn't do it. I love the Pixel cameras, and I don't know if I'll get the 4, but I couldn't give OnePlus the extra money. Nah, because the camera's not as good. Nope. I couldn't do
We
it.
don't know if the camera's as good because it hasn't come out yet.
The camera's not as good as the 3A, and Mike is comparing it to the 6T. The 6T is the same as the 6.
No, the 16 camera is a little bit better than the 6.
But it still ain't a Pixel. It's not a Pixel.
That's
So
true.
I couldn't. Google got that software. They're killing it with the
All
software.
right, so Mike, what we're essentially saying is that people like you, me, and Rishi are really
guys wanna
OnePlus
support.
fans. We're saying Will is
See?
definitely not a OnePlus
But
fan.
no, wait, look, Mike is letting his loyalty to OnePlus because OnePlus is treating him good with the 6. He's letting it interfere. That's all. It's interfering with his extra $180 in his pocket.
Well,
I
also though,
couldn't
too,
do it.
let me just say this though. The OnePlus is also kind of hitting like most people with an iPhone that don't want to upgrade because it's working great. I have absolutely no desire to go get a 7 or a 7 Pro or none of them because I really like the size and the feel and everything about that phone, and I'm just quite pleased the way that phone works. And that's just me. I'm quite pleased with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
I have no desire. I have absolutely no desire. I'm trying to find this picture I just sent to
The
myself.
thing is, I don't
Will
know.
is not
I don't-
satisfied dragging
Because, no,
everybody into the juice. He also
No,
wants to
listen.
tell his other side.
No, because even the people with the Pixel, right? I know MKBHD was like his was laggy, but the
Right.
people with the Pixel, most of them anyway, I don't see anybody saying I have to buy the next Pixel because this one is performing so bad. You know what I mean?
Well, okay. Yeah.
They'll say it's laggy, or they might want the new camera features or whatever, and hopefully Google puts a little more RAM, or they fix whatever issues they have with their RAM.
I think that's what they need to do with that processor, put a little more RAM in there.
Mhm.
But, you know, I don't know. I just couldn't give OnePlus
Oh,
the
wait,
extra.
look, I think they need to ram a little more RAM in there.
Or are you just rammy? You know?
Well, my mind just went to ram a lam ding.
Yeah.
I couldn't give them the extra $180. Not for because Mike didn't have a Pixel 3, but I know the Pixel 3, that camera was crazy. That camera is crazy. The OnePlus 6 is good.
You
I
got
guess
rid of it, didn't you?
because I got it for free, George. That was free money in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I want the extra money in my pocket if I had a choice. That's why I would pick the 3A over the OnePlus because they're to me they're equal just about minus the RAM.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Minus the RAM, it's the same. If Google's promising me 3 years of updates,
Yeah.
I think OnePlus is promising the same. They're both not water resistant, no wireless charging from neither one. And if the battery life is good on on the 3A and 3, that's a terrible name.
All right. I just sent you probably I mean, I don't use portrait a lot, but I just sent you a picture. All right.
I see it. I got it.
All right. So you're telling me that's horrible?
No, I'm Mike. That's
that's a pretty nice portrait shot.
I'm not saying it's horrible, but I'm saying the Pixel 3 is better. The Pixel 3 camera is better.
How is it better if I'm able to get that shot? If I'm able to get that shot. If I'm able to get that shot, did it?
If I find a Pixel 3 for on sale, I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna come to your house and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
You hear that? Oh my God!
Make me show you, Mike. You're gonna
now
make
he's
me
upset.
But
Now
Mike,
look at him.
Will's only coming to your house when I come to your house.
You're gonna make me, Mike. You're gonna make me show. You're gonna make me show you how good. It is.
Good.
The camera, like the camera on the
I'm
Pixel
gonna
is
get you back. I'm gonna get you back to the good side.
The camera on the Pixel is insane, Mike. I'm telling you.
All right, so Will, you're gonna go out and get a Pixel 3A, right?
I gotta show Mike.
Oh, he'll get it. He'll get it, and on the 13th day, he'll be back to Best Buy to return it.
That's probably true.
If I get the 3A, it'll be cheap enough that I wouldn't be like I want to return it.
So you're gonna put it in the drawer with the OnePlus 6.
Exactly.
There's that camera. The camera on the 6 is great. I'm telling you, it's a good camera, but it's not touching the Pixel. It's not. The Pixel 3 is for video. It's probably better because the audio on the Pixel. I know when I had it, the audio wasn't that great, but
the audio wasn't the subpart.
The point and shoot is crazy on that phone. The portrait mode. Oh my God! Now you make me want to go get the phone again because the
good.
That camera is crazy. That camera is crazy.
We'll have a shootout.
That camera is crazy. I don't know. I mean, I never tried the Huawei camera. Everybody says that one is great because it is zoom and all
that one's better. Okay.
Point and shoot. As far as what I tried, the Pixel is amazing. That camera was crazy.
Let's move on. Which one of you guys sent in the story of the Big Four class action suit? Wasn't that you, Will?
That was Will. Yeah.
I guess I did send that in. When was that one from?
You take that one.
All right, let me see. I gotta open it up.
Gary, OnePlus. I'm sorry.
The big Mike is gonna be OnePlus 6's boss number 2. Big Four U.S. carriers face class action lawsuits after selling customer location data. Collecting location data from customers' smartphones without permission or with permission is one thing, but selling it to third parties is something the Big Four U.S. carriers have faced increasing criticism for over the past year. AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, and T-Mobile have all released statements along the lines.
Where's John Legere now?
We're sorry, your data is important to us, but legal action is now being taken. According to Motherboard, separate but practically identical class action lawsuits have been filed against each carrier. As many as 300 million customers are covered by the actions across the 4 network providers, with an unspecified amount of damages being sought in each lawsuit filed by consumer protection firm Zlaw. Telecommunications companies are required by federal law to protect the customer's proprietary network information of their users, and location data collected by devices on their networks is included in this. Whether or not each carrier violated this law would determine the outcome of what could be landmark cases. Sounds like they're all guilty.
And all of a sudden you're going to get a paper in the mail saying, "Oh, you're part of a class action lawsuit." Fill it out, and then you get a check for 50 cents. You know what I mean?
I was thinking 35 cents actually.
Mike just sent me a night site. Yeah, it looks good.
What? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you through the headphones. What's that?
I said it looks good.
Did you hear that?
You can't hear me. You might need some AirPods. If you can't hear me, you might need AirPods.
Oh man.
We go to Sprint. Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, you see, Mike, look what he said in the chat. If you got it, oh, it's an iPhone 6. I thought he said a OnePlus 6.
No, iPhone 6, yeah.
That was
Yeah, that's what Munchie was talking about. Go get, I think it was like track phone. I think it was track phone. Something, and it was a track phone deal. Let me go. I don't know if you saw it, George. Munchie had this deal going on. He figured some kind of way of.
It's a crazy scam.
Oh,
Yeah,
That was a crazy scam.
Okay. This is from Munchie.
You had to buy a phone from
If
somewhere.
you're on a fence for a Pixel 3a, order a total wireless, get a gray iPhone 6 32 gig, use this code, Instant30.
30% off.
Right. Trade in to Google for $250 effective price. 400 plus 5250 plus taxes. It'd be okay. It'd be $452.40. Refund $250, I guess, from Google.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I'm
then
about
you
to
get
on that. The phone is only,
Yeah.
The phone is only $75.
right. It'll
for the
be about
one-
250-ish, right? Get the $100 Google credit as well. Use them to buy Google earbuds and sell them at a minimum of 50. So your final price is $200 roughly.
cool.
And he says, "Oh yeah, you can sell the $35 total wireless card for about 15 or 20 if you want to."
You guys are all becoming experts at the art of the deal.
See, tell her what's it called? Called against the hustle.
Munchie went into that deal.
Yeah,
boy.
he really went. Man, yeah, he did. He finds
Munchie
the deals.
researched that one. Everybody needs to subscribe to Munchie's channel. Munchie's got
Mhm.
all the hacks and the ROMs and the routing and everything.
Oh yeah. He's got. Man, he goes to town showing some stuff. He loves that Pocophone,
Mike, you
Pocophone, and a Moto X4. Right? He loves to do stuff.
Okay.
George, I'm going on record. Anything I buy from tonight on is Mike's fault. Mike just,
Okay. He's wearing an Apple Watch and it's your fault, so it's only fair.
it is my fault. If I go,
Wait. I did it last year. Why don't you go get the phone and then you do a video and then you mail it to me, drop it off to me. I do a review and then we mail it off to George and let George do it like we did last year.
that Pixel. Oh man, let me see what they got him for on Swapper.
Oh my goodness, he's
We
going.
got him trolling, Mike.
Yeah, because I remember. I'm just thinking of that camera. Oh my gosh, that camera is disgusting. Like
All right, you go ahead and get it. I got my
oh
OnePlus
wow,
fixed.
for $425.
It's all you, man. It's all you. Go for it. We'll do a camera comparison, okay?
Going back to the dark side. Okay.
Tell it's all my fault, okay?
It is. That's all your fault that I'm even looking. I've been
good.
doing good. I've been doing so.
Yo,
Well,
George,
I guess you could blame Munchie for part of it, okay?
George, he's coming back to Android. He'll
There
be
you
selling
go.
everything. He'll be selling everything and getting Chromebooks. He'll be getting a Slate.
Oh no, I ain't getting that.
Wait, oh boy.
I'm not going that far, Mike. I'm not going.
You watch. Mark it here on that day. He'll be, oh wow, look at this software. I can move my icons wherever I want or I don't
There
want
you
them.
go.
Make me miss that camera, Mike. That's all. That camera,
I don't want to hear about that camera. I don't
is
want to hear.
ridiculous. I'm telling you.
George, mark my word, he'll be swinging the other way.
Yep.
Hey, wait, George, the iPhone will be back in the drawer, and the 6 and the Pixel will be out.
Nah.
Why are you guys drinking that juice?
I'm all in, Mike. I'm all in.
I guess next week we'll see a Pixel 3a in Will's hand.
George, I just realized you got this last article from the New York Times. These guys are taking up too much of our time here, you know?
Well, that's true. Or you might say too much of our times.
You saw that. I should have seen that one coming.
That was a very timely pun, wasn't it? Oh.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness.
I'm going to pull that one up.
Okay.
Now, this kind of brings us full circle back to where we started the show.
Mhm.
The name of the article is Putting Down Your Phone May Help You Live Longer. By raising levels of the stress-related hormone cortisol, our phone time may also be threatening our long-term health. If you're like many people, you may have decided that you want to spend less time staring at your phone. It's a good idea. An increasing body of evidence suggests that the time we spend on our smartphones is interfering with our sleep, self-esteem, relationships, memory, attention spans, creativity, productivity, and problem solving and decision making skills. But there is another reason for us to rethink our relationships with our devices. By chronically raising levels of cortisol, the body's main stress hormone, our phones may be threatening our health and shortening our lives. Until now, most discussions of phones' biochemical effects have focused on dopamine, a brain chemical that helps us form habits and addictions. Like slot machines, smartphones and apps are explicitly designed to trigger dopamine's release with the goal of making our devices difficult to put down. This manipulation of our dopamine systems is why many experts believe that we are developing behavioral addictions to our phones. But our phone's effects on cortisol are potentially even more alarming. Cortisol is our primary fight or flight hormone. Boy, I must have a lot of that. It releases triggers psychological changes such as spikes in blood pressure, heart rate, blood sugar that helps us react and to survive acute physical threats. These effects can be life-saving if you are actually in physical danger, like say you're being charged by a bull, which I think is a stupid example. Last time I was in physical danger, it wasn't a bull, it was some jerk with a knife. So, stupid example in my opinion.
Oh, man.
But our bodies also release cortisol in response to emotional stressors, where an increased heart rate isn't going to do much good, such as checking your phone to find an angry email from your boss. If they happened only occasionally, phone-induced cortisol spikes might not matter, but the average American spends 4 hours a day staring at their smartphone and keeps it within arm's reach nearly all the time, according to a tracking app called Moment. The result is, as Google has noted in a report, is that mobile devices loaded with social media, email, and news apps create a constant sense of obligation, generating unintended personal stress. And this is where I don't have the issue. I don't stress out over my phone. Your cortisol levels are elevated when your phone is in sight or nearby, or when you hear or even think you hear it, says David Greenfield, professor of clinical psychiatry at the University of Connecticut School of Medicine and founder of the Center for Internet and Technology Addiction. Well, I can see why he'd want to say that. It's a stress response and it feels unpleasant, and the body's natural response is to want to check the phone to make the stress go away. But while doing so might soothe you for a second, it probably will make things worse in the long run. Anytime you check your phone, you're likely to find something else stressful waiting for you, leading to another spike in cortisol and another craving to check your phone to make your anxiety go away. This cycle, when continuously reinforced,
Oh my
leads to
God.
chronically elevated cortisol levels. So I'm not going to read the whole article, but to me, it sounds like they're describing teenagers, not adults. You know, I don't know adults that stress out every time they pick up my phone. A teenager might, especially on social media. So I just kind of disagree with the article. Anybody else want to chime in?
You know, another, oh, this phone's doing this and you're stressing out and all that stuff. You know, consider it the source that we were just talking about last week.
Exactly. And
You know?
I'm going to listen to a professor who has a sideline of addiction to devices. Well, I think he might have a reason for telling me that it's bad for me. That's just how I see it, you know. So anyway, I take a lot of this stuff with a grain of
George.
salt.
Yeah.
So,
Excuse me, George. You see what Adam said? You clicked on yourself, so the screen isn't changing to who's talking.
yeah,
Is
well,
that why
I
it does it?
going back for right now. It's on you because while I
So
was
that's okay.
reading,
So
I
you
had
fixed
on
it.
me.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you fixed it. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole night the thing is not pulling to the person who's talking, so I'm doing it. All right. Are we about done?
Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Oh,
Yeah, I
hey,
think so.
hey, bro, how you doing? I'm sorry. Oh, wow, Night Tech. I'm full Apple now, not one Android device.
Okay. See
Whoa.
what you've done to people, Will?
He knows how to do it. Mike's trying to pull me back with this whole OnePlus cameras is on par with the Pixel.
I'm gonna
It's
do it.
not happening.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
not
do it.
happening, Mike. I've had every Pixel,
Mike's
and I'm
already got
telling
you
you,
back,
it's not.
brother.
I'm good.
I've had I've had the OnePlus. I think I had the 3T, the 5, and the 6. No, it's not as good. It's not. Nope, it's not. It's good though, but it's not. I can't believe. Oh, Mike, you.
I will. Wait a minute. How can I get this?
You just can't see it, Mike. That's why you can't see the difference or something.
I just messaged you. I'll get you. They got a great little plan on that Simple Mobile one that you never signed up. I'll spend the $25 a month for you to get. It's just 3 gigs of data, but it's unlimited talk and text. I'll get you set up on an account. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Hey, you gotta get some videos because Will, what do you got for? Did you get to 60?
I think I got my 58 loyal subscribers. That's all.
We gotta get you to 60, dude. We gotta come on.
To make a video.
We gotta get. Wait a minute. No super chats tonight. I'm very disappointed. I wanted a super chat for you, for George, and I want you get to 60. And we were going to get you a Pixel. We're going to figure a way to get you a Pixel. Carry 2 phones, an Android and an Apple.
Mike, I told you, Mike. You can go to we can find a buy one get one, or do that Munchie deal.
Yeah, I know.
That Munchie deal is kind of sweet. It's
a
lot of work, but it's sweet. It's a good deal. You know what? You got to do that real fast because how long is Google going to have that trade in?
I know.
All right, so we're done.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think we got everything.
All right, I think we got everything, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And next week, we'll be on your channel, right?
All right.
Well, tell me I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Don't throw me off. All right, so Will, you want to say goodnight first?
Good night, everybody. Everybody have a good weekend. I don't know what weather we're getting this weekend, Mike. Do you? I hope everybody else gets this weather.
I know it was posted. Last I heard, it was supposed to rain.
There you go. There goes my.
It was supposed to rain. It was. Mother's Day is going to rain. Which, by the way, oh man, I don't know if Pat popped in the room. My wife's birthday.
Yeah, she was here. She popped in for a little bit.
I'm sorry. My wife's birthday is Sunday, so everybody find my wife. She's on Twitter. She doesn't do it too much, but hit her on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. She's really digging Instagram. So give her a happy birthday wishes on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm Mike Dixon. This is Simply Device. We will be on Will's channel. Looking forward to it because another new phone release. And by then Will will have his Pixel 3 AXL, and we'll be doing camera comparisons, him and I. Yep.
And I'm Mobile Geezer. Of course, you're on my channel, and you'll find me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And my website is mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. And next week we'll be on Will's channel Friday night at 8 o'clock. And we'll probably be seeing a Pixel 3 AXL on Will's house.
Yep, there we go.
Oh,
yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You heard camera comparison. You heard him.
That's right. You and me. Come on, big.
You're talking camera comparison, so it's sure starting to sound like we're going to see a Pixel 3A. Anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in. And thank you, Big House, very much. Appreciate it. And he said, nice stream, tons of info. We appreciate it, Big House. And we'll see you all next week on Will's channel. And I hope everybody has a nice weekend. And here it's 100% rain chance tomorrow and 100% rain chance Sunday. So that's where we're at. See you next week, folks.
Yeah.